This is Computer Wizard's tutorial on how to replace or properly replace dynamic RAM in a laptop and in a tower in one video. I'm going to do it. It's a pretty straightforward job, so I'll show you how to do them. And this is a proper way of doing it. I've seen so many people online on eBay not doing it in the correct way, so this is the correct way. First things first, for a laptop, this is a compact. First things first, let's get this battery out. So no power going to the battery. Unfortunately, this still leaves lots of current left in the motherboard. So what we do now is hold that in for 30 seconds to a minute. A minute would be a much better period of time. And whilst so what you've got on the motherboard is capacitors. And they store charge and retain a charge, and it's very difficult to get rid of that charge. If you look at a time capacitance chart, you'll see that the trail off on the goes to infinity, which tells me, or tells the average physicist that, or electronics guy, that it never actually truly discharges. So you have to do this to discharge it completely. And once you've done that, for a few short rapid bursts, 1 second in and 1 second out, 4 or 5 times, should truly discharge the motherboard. Right, now we've done that. Right, first thing to look for, if you've never done it before, is did these pictures earlier because I knew that you won't be able to see these on here. This end of this is a hard drive. Not only does the size of it give it away, but these little pictures here are sets of platters, which is most hard drives have got 2 or 3 discs like that, with electronic heads moving in and out very, very rapidly, so fast that the eye can't see it. Minus the spindle. And this is a picture to tell you that under this cover there's a hard drive. The next one down is RAM. This is because this is a laptop, this is quite a short piece of RAM, which is called sodium RAM, which is what laptops have, which is short for small outline dual inline memory module. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And as I say, they're short. This picture here indicates it's like a microphone with these like sound waves coming out, but they're actually radio waves going out, which pictorially gives you more or less the same thing. So you should be looking for these underneath. This is the picture that you'll find on top of the cover, and there you go. There's one there, which is that one there exactly. So the wireless card is under there, wireless LAN, and there's 2 pictures there, which are both exactly the same as that, which tells me the RAM is under here. So let's get this RAM out. Keep going until you can hear the click, click, click. It means the screws out this housing. And there we go. Those are the 2 memory modules. Now let me turn these round. They've got little slots in here, and there's a couple of teeth actually holding them in. Now what we need to do is both at the same time. There's a tooth there, and there's a tooth there. So what you do is just go in front of it and pull them outwards, away from each other, and that will shoot up to about 25 degrees, as you see. Now, because it's at that angle, we're going to pull it out in that direction of its angle. What you've got to try and do is not touch the tips of anything that might be magnetic or hot or conductive in any way on the chips, and also the gold bits that come out. So out you come, over there, and the next one down, pull out, the same thing happens, pull it out using those slots. Right, as I said, don't ever handle them with your fingers as well, because you hold massive amount of static electricity, especially in the summer. which gives a massive spike, which will fry that. Gravel that like that, and you most likely fry it, especially in the middle of summer. Even if you've got a static thing on, strap on, unless it's joined all the time, most people don't wear them, they just touch themselves on something that's plugged in, so they earth themselves, but as soon as they shift their feet, lift and shift it, they recharge the body up again. So don't touch the chips or the gold bits. So we're going to we're taking 2 512s out, and now we're going to stick in our 2 1 gigs. Now again, hold them on the outside, go down to the bottom dim slot, hold it about 30 to 40 degrees, push it in until the gold disappears. You can see that. I'll do it on the next one. Find something that's not conductive, wood would be better, and push it down. And same thing again. You can see there's gold there. Now watch that gold disappear as it disappears in the slot. Can you see that? Slowly, fast. So the gold from where my eyes are at the moment, looking down here, it disappears completely. So hold it in the middle, push it down, make sure it's right in. It looks like it's not in properly. Right, that's the RAM replaced. And the first thing you do is obviously put the battery back in and fire it up to make sure that it has seen the RAM. We're not going to do that because that would just lengthen the video, but you know where to see the RAM. If you don't, it's under control panel and system devices, device manager. It's under general in device manager. That shows you the processor speed, the operating system, and how much RAM you've got generally. And tell you if you've got 768 for instance, that means you've got 1 gig of RAM and 256 of it's being used to supply the RAM for the graphics card. Let's put the battery back in so I don't lose it. Right, that's the laptop out of the way. Now for a tower. Tower. Let's put that RAM, as I remember, out of sight, in a safe place. If you don't think it's worth doing, this staticness, try this for size. I had a job to do which demanded that I took out a GeForce 256 card. In them days they were about £250, and this guy wanted a 512. So when I left, I said, what do you want me to do with the 256? He said, oh well, you can keep that if you want. I thought, well, that's very generous. I said, thank you very much. So yes, here we go. This is the RAM. Getting sidetracked here. I'll continue that in a minute. That's the dynamic RAM there, 2 slots. Again, what we're going to do is take out 2 512s and replace them with 1 gig. Now these white creamy bits here, white, they are what we call the retainers. Now it's not plugged in, but assuming this was just plugged in, this would be charged up. So we unplug it, throw the switch, if there's one on there, to 0. Go to the switch on the front, hold it in for at least a minute, as I said before, and I don't even know whether it's getting all this, so I'm just going to tilt it out a little bit just in case you're not. So about that, we had a break in the video because it decided to run out of battery. Right, we've got as far as doing the switch on there. Now it's totally discharged. See all these capacitors we were talking about earlier? You can actually see them in this one. Each one of those stores charge and rapidly discharges, but it never truly discharges completely, and this is why we have to do that extra bit. And that's for anything that you're going to plug directly into the board, whether it's a LAN card like that, or a wireless card, or a USB 2 card, memory slots, processor. any of those can get fried by the lowest of charges. Micro amps can do it, you know. So anyway, get back to the RAM. These retainers, you pull them out one at a time, both ends. See if you can do them both at the same time. It will rise up out of the slot, so you can just pick it up and take it to one side. And do the same there. Both at the same time. Take it out, take it to one side. Right, I have some RAM here to go straight in. So what I do now is I don't know if you can see this. You put it back in the slot that it came out of, one end, and the other end. Again, making sure you don't touch the chips or the gold bits. It can be a bit of a pain sometimes, because that fits pretty flush. Now support your fingers on the motherboard somewhere, or on the outside, and push down evenly, keeping the memory stick perpendicular to the motherboard. That's vertical, yeah? And push down evenly, so hopefully they're both going at the same time. Doesn't want to go in there, does it? Do you know, I hate these ones that flex like this, because you know what's going to happen. So open this end up. When it bends like that, you quite often think that each end's in, but the motherboard's flexed so much that, you know, the area in here is not fully hung. In fact, in the old days, I would get a piece of wood about a third of the thickness of that, and I'd slide it underneath there. And if I had the motherboard out, I'd have my fingers underneath there, and I'd push up in this bit here. But you just got to hope that it hasn't flexed too much. It is in completely. And now for the other piece, another piece here, another 1 gig in the slot. So this one goes in a bit easier. They're new, that's the trouble. Right, push down. Yes, that did go in easier. But you know, this is so bloody, make them so weak nowadays. Look at that. You can hear it popping as it pops back out. And that is the RAM replaced on a tower. I don't think we need to discuss it anymore, because obviously you'd fire it up and make sure on these, if you've got the black screen with the white writing on it, you can hit the pause break screen, keyboard whilst it's looking at the RAM, and you can actually see what it is. And you can press enter and the pause break, and you can stop it and start it and stop it until you work out exactly what RAM it's got. If it's gone by too fast, I mean, you can just do a control alt delete and get ready with the pause break button, and when the RAM's been detected, you can just press it and it will suspend the post bit, you know, the what's it stand for? Yeah, I always get caught with this one. It'll come back to me, yeah. You know, it's gone. Self-test, the ST, anyway, it's just basically a startup test. It'll come back to me in a minute. And that's it, basically. Put the sides back on, fire it up, and you've now got 2 gig of RAM, and you put it in safely instead of just grabbing it by the hands and keeping the thing plugged in. It makes me cringe when I see that. Someone come in the other day with a handful of RAM with a hands wrapped around it like that. I said, but that's going to be pretty useless. And he's quite affronted because I didn't buy it off him. But you know, I don't want static shock to bloody RAM. And all it takes is just a mismatched impedance that causes it. And you take the memory out of the bag, the static bag. The idea of the bag is to take enough of the charge out of your body so that when you touch the RAM inside, they're more or less equal in impedance. Any Any difference in impedance, which is mismatch impedance, causes a flow of current, which is where the static happens, and you end up with a statically damaged piece of hardware. Exactly what happened with my GeForce card that I got for nothing. I was stupid enough to stick it in whilst it was still plugged in, and it didn't work, and I knew it worked because I'd taken it out of this guy's machine. I ended up putting it on one of my computer fairs, put it in a bag for the £5 thing, and the following month this guy come back and said, "That card's wicked, it's great." I thought, oh shit, I sold a 256 GeForce profit for bloody fiver. There was nothing wrong with it. But obviously on the day that it wasn't working, I had statically damaged it, and over the period obviously it discharged itself, went off to work again. These things happen, you know. Anyway, this is Computer Wizards. That's double Z in the middle, one Z on the end, and this is another video tutorial. I'm Jackadan, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.